city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jet airliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, come along. Yeah, we're coming to your city. Gonna play our guitars and sing you a country song. We'll all be flying higher than a jet airliner. And if you want a little bang in your yin yang, come along, come along. Listen up. Now LA's got the freaks that pinks and $15 drinks and sand.
From Central High School in Woodstock, this is the 9th edition of CHSPN, the Central High Sports Programming Network. My name's Kyle Gutschall, as today I'm joined by Olivia Whiteman. The fall sports season here at Central has nearly reached its conclusion, but we begin with a recap of regular season finale football from last Friday night as the Falcons suffered a frustrating loss to the William Monroe Dragons 31-17. Central led 17-7 at the half, but William Monroe exploded in the second half to finish the regular season 6-4, while Central fell to 4-6. Quarterback Kellen Hoover was 9-24 for 137 passing yards and a touchdown, and Brevin Scott had 5 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. And then Isaiah Dyer, running back, had 53 rushing yards on 17 carries and a touchdown. Tonight is a big night for Falcon football as the playoffs begin. The Central team is number 7 seeded and will be traveling to Fredericksburg to face the number 2 seeded James Monroe Yellow Jackets. James Monroe finished the regular season 7-3. It's going to be a good first round matchup between the Falcons and James Monroe. They're going to try to bounce back from the tough loss against William Monroe on Friday night, and will be crucial for the team to get off to a hot start by getting the quarterback Kellen Hoover and the passing game going, along with running back Isaiah Dyer in the running game. We'll see if the Falcons can duplicate the first half from last Friday, where they played pretty well, and see how they can do against James Monroe tonight. Now, before jumping into this week's game picks, Olivia, you had a chance to sit down with Central's quarterback Kellen Hoover to discuss tonight's game. What do you think the team's going to have to do to get it going?
I think they're going to have to play all around, like defense, offense. It's going to have to be pretty good.
Yeah, because this is a good team that Central's going to be facing tonight. So the Falcons are going to have to play on both sides of the ball offensively, and then see if they can play pretty good defense against a very good James Monroe football team. So we're going to cue up that interview now with Olivia and quarterback of the Falcons, Kellen Hoover.
How was your season individually and as a team?
I think as a team we did pretty good. Not as good as we wanted to, but overall I think I had a really good year for my first year starting, and I really enjoyed it.
Good. And how do you think you guys will perform against James Monroe? And what do you think you need to do to play well?
I think it's definitely going to be a good game to watch. We have a lot of injuries, but I think we have players stepping up, and it's going to be fun.
Well, we wish you guys good luck against James Monroe, and we hope you guys further your team.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you for being here with us.
Now it's time for this week's CHSPN game picks, and Maria Marston, she sat down with Deputy Green to do his picks and see what he thinks about tonight's football game between the Falcons and James Monroe.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm here with Officer Green, and he'll be making the game day picks this week. First, we'll start with college. We have number 10, Oklahoma, at number 13, Baylor.
I'm going to go with Baylor on that pick.
We have number 4, Georgia, at number 12, Auburn.
Georgia for sure.
Number 1, LSU at Ole Miss.
LSU.
Moving on to high school, it's the playoffs. They start this week. We have Strasburg at Luray.
That's going to be a tough one. I think Strasburg will pull through.
East Rock at Clark.
East Rock.
Skyline at William Monroe.
William Monroe.
And then we have Central at James Monroe.
Got to go with Central.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Kyle.
And a big thanks to Deputy Green for being on this week's show, as he did take the Falcons over James Monroe here for tonight's football game, so we'll see how the Falcons can do on the road. Now, we will not be on the air next week. We'll be back the following week here on CHSPN, but the fall season is coming to an end, Olivia. The winter season's coming up. We've got basketball, we've got wrestling and swim. Now, for the basketball teams, first for the boys, they've got a lot of hope this year for having a very solid season. They're hoping to get pretty far, even though they are moving up to 3A this year, just like all the other sports. So it should be interesting to see what the boys can do. They have Dominic Struther returning. You've got Brett Barr, Silas Rolling, Chase Halsey, a couple of the other big starters and players from the past few years. So they've got some experience on that basketball team. And then on the girls' side, I know you know some about it. They've got a couple new coaches. You want to talk about them a little bit?
Oh yeah, the coaches are a great new addition to our team. They've helped out a lot. I know that we're a smaller team, but we're going to be quick. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how we're going to play against these new teams and what we can do, because we have a lot of people returning. We're missing Kendall Herbal, Takara Scott, Shantae. So it's gonna hurt us a little bit, but I think we'll be a good team this year.
It's gonna be interesting to see the new teams that Central hasn't played in a few years, like Sharando and James Wood in basketball. So should be a pretty interesting season for both the boys and the girls. They'll be getting started soon with scrimmages, and then also for the swim team and wrestling team, we'll have more information on them as well. So thank you for joining us here on the 9th edition of CHSPN. Again, we'll be off next week, and we'll return the following week as winter sports are getting ready to get started here at Central. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in a couple of weeks from Woodstock.